What's up, everybody? How you doing? I got the stream elements to work. A little bit less work for the mods. You know what's funny? I don't think I put YouTube on there because it just links to my YouTube, which we're already on. So I don't think I need that one. But I don't have one for Twitch. Actually, that's funny. I didn't put one on for Twitch. So I'll have to do that. It's actually not a bad idea. I'll write that on my list of things that I've forgotten to do. Hello, Ukulele. Good to see you. Hello, Dragon. Please help me serve the online community. No login one time. Where's the link, man? You dummy. Where's the link to that one? Fix. Commands. Again. I wonder why. I wonder why that's a thing. Let's fix it right now since we're here and nobody else is. Yeah, no kidding, right? Chatbot, chat commands, custom commands. Hello, Samus! It is in fact morning. Wait, no, I gotta go to my timers. Timers. I got 2. Yeah, it's there! Oh! Interesting. I think it blocked its own link. Very interesting. Because I did put the link on there. But because it has a link blocker built into the chat moderator, the auto moderator, it blocked its own thing. That's stupid. Okay. Let's turn that off then, see what happens. You never know. I've only got like 11 people that watch. So it's not like I'm going to get in real trouble. Did YouTube block the link? Well, let's find out. Easy way to find out. We just go like this. Go. Unless, of course, I didn't do that. Is that one? Chat commands. Yeah. Yeah. So if I go shop. Well, that one worked. What? Let's try it again. Well, I'm just confused. I'll fix that later, I guess. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Did you do a typo and it's minimizing malformed URL? Actually, you know what's funny is I looked at my command list and coffee's not on there. Neither, but it should be under donate for advanced. Yeah, other one is coffee, KOFI. Okay, cool. And if I go to donate, click. Oh, I literally don't have the coffee link. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. Okay, fine. It's not it. It's me. Cool. Save. And maybe the timer's screwed up too. Timer? That one? No, that one has it. Okay, I guess we'll see if that fixes itself. Because I think it was blocked by Stream Elements. Okay, good. We're good. Boop, boop. I'll stop screwing around with my stream now. But I figured that since nobody's here, or not nobody, y'all are important to me. Figured that since the people who will tolerate me are here. There you go. That's a way better way to put it. Since the people that will tolerate me are here, it's okay for me to mess around a little bit. All right. Tell you what, today's gonna be interesting talk. I little behind the scenes, I don't really look at what I'm going to teach until like maybe, you know, an hour before I teach it. And so I look at it and I'm like, oh, that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to talking about that. What's cool is that, you know, I'm used to talking with notes, right? And so I can, you know, we can just go off notes. But it's so repetitive. If you've only been here, if you've been here for every single stream, you're just kind of getting nailed with the same topic over and over. But then I'm like, so I almost skipped it. I'm like, well, we talked about this a lot. But I'm like, actually, you know, you can't talk about this enough, especially after yesterday's conversation, right? Like, we had a legit conversation about, you know, like, accountability with someone who's like, I want accountability. And I'm like, okay, well, do this. Wow. You know, like, we need to talk about this kind of stuff, especially what a drought of mentorship and a drought of pastoring and a drought of eldership and leadership really is in the area that we're in, whether it be Twitch or YouTube or content creation or the church in general. It's just, there's just not enough. And so let's just keep banging it home. My hope, my prayer is legitimately, I hope that at some point the algorithm figures out what I'm doing, spits out my link to somebody, and they're able to see, you know what, there's somebody doing leadership development. I want to go there. Instead of me watching somebody play something or watching some entertaining thing or whatever, I want to go learn something today, you know? So they'll come over here and they'll see some leadership development stuff. It's a challenge. You know, I'm really thankful for Data God today. He's got like 1 million computers in his office. And so he has 5 of them playing my playlist, like my super long playlist. Like, I'll show you. It's actually really funny. Here, look at this. Like, so this is, if I go to watch time, boing! like right here, like I got 50 hours of watch time and I got 25 hours of watch time. Because, you know, people are people are tuning into the stream. And because there's folks that or because I literally, Data God is just got, you know, something looping me in the background. Actually, trying to think about what do we have for watch time? Content. Turning viewers, subscribers, videos, yes. Average view duration. So there you go. See that one up. So yeah, it's helping. It's helping. That's good. I was kind of worried that it would like cancel it all out because it's all from the same IP, but apparently not. So that's good. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. How's your day? How are you doing? What's going on today? Any big plans? I know it's afternoon for some and it's evening for others and it's morning and lunchtime for those. So what's going on today? What are you doing right now? If I'm on second monitor, this is a good question. If I'm on second monitor, what's on the first monitor? That's what do you got going on for work right now? Or is it so top secret you can't say? I know people who, and more than one, who, because I live in like Ottawa's capital city, right? They legit have like top secret access and they can't talk about their work and whatnot. I know people that are like that, like so they're high up there. Like, what do you do? Not telling. Or I do things with computers. Oh yeah, cool. What? I'm not telling you. Okay, you're one of them. All right. Got stuff I want to talk through, but I don't know who would understand well enough to help. Not sure if I need a mentor, an accountability partner, or what. Well, if I can help, and you want to do it live on stream, we can totally try to work through something. But if you don't want to, that's totally cool. I'm happy to chat if you want to, or if you want to do something else, I'm up to you. You know, I'm here if you want me or not. Plans? You don't have time for all the plans I got. Well, good, man. I'm glad you got plans. I know it's not for me. I like the consistency. I like the rhythm. I like the kind of keeping things going as far as like like the rhythm of the week and the schedule of the week and whatnot. It just helps me, especially when things are stressing out. I'm like, I know what's happening and I know what's going to happen. I've been a little lackadaisical of late, you know, with waking up. And like, I was up last night. We watched a movie, and I was like, and we had treats with it, and so the treats kept me up all night, which means I was sleepy this morning. But my wife woke me up, and I'm like, bleh. So I'm like, I did not do what I was supposed to do. I just got stream ready, and then that's it. And I did a little bit. I got some graphics out and whatnot, but definitely I'm not at everything I want to. Because really what I want to do is I want to wake up and do a bunch of work before stream. Prep stream, do more work. But I'm like, ugh, I'm so tired. And self-indulgent. Tired and self-indulgent. That's me. I'm, just want to make sure that things are going here. Okay. Nope, it is not. I will minimize this because it's unnecessary. Good. Okay, tell you what. Why don't I pray, and then we'll jump into the talk. Yo, Dragon, or yo, Data God. What are you checking with the weather, Dragon? Is it like something gonna happen down there? So, good to see you, Data God. I was just thanking you for the spike in viewership you were giving me. It helped out, and it will continue to help out. I really think so, because it counts every viewer multiplied by how many hours I stream for, right? And so it's like, if I stream for 2 hours and I've got 6 viewers, that's 12 hours of watch time, which is pretty cool. It's nice to have to count that way, rather than it counting, you know, just because a bunch of people are watching, counts for just the time I'm on. That would have been a bummer. All right, slidey ho. Check the weather morning before I leave the house. I'm getting out a little late today because of the family drama. Aw, is it okay? You know what? I don't know if I should ask, but I get it. Like, you've had a few things happen, so hopefully it's not health and VA and all that related, because that's such a consistent topic. It's just, you kind of want to fight about something else, you know? Can we fight about something else? Just fine. If you got to fight, let's fight, but I don't want to fight about that anymore. How's Data God? What do you got? I was asking the question, so if I'm on second monitor, Data God, what do you have on your first monitor? What's on the, like, what are you looking at right now? If I'm over here, what are you looking at right now? You got something interesting, or at least something you are enjoying? Or is it just work? Got workity work on there? Because I'm in Dragon's pocket right now. I'm pretty sure he's just listening through audio, so therefore it's Twitch code. Oh, there you go. Rock and roll. That's good. Well, good for you. That's definitely beyond my capabilities. I'm having a hard enough time working with stuff that's supposed to already work with Twitch, let alone things to make it so it works with Twitch. Like Lumia Stream had some features that I was trying to kick in. Stream Elements was having some features, and I'm like, man, this is a lot, because I want to kind of do something fun. Like, they don't have channel points here on YouTube, obviously. But there's a system by which you can do kind of channel point stuff. It's the Stream Elements store, right? And so I don't exactly know how it keeps track of stuff, but you can kind of keep track of the watch time and people watching, and then they can cash it in on stuff. But it's all happens in Stream Elements, so it's like a step away from watching. So if you're on your phone, you'd literally have to leave the phone, go to Stream Elements, click the thing, come back to Twitch, hope you don't get a commercial. So it's not optimal by any stretch, but it could be fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave all the fun for Twitch, and that'll make life easier, because more distractions here, you know, probably not the better. So I'm gonna pray, and then we'll get going on this thing. God, thank you for your love and care. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for the blessing of knowing you. God, we have tons of stuff in our life that's distracting and is important. Family stuff and life stuff and job stuff and confusion, personal stuff, health stuff. We are awash with anxieties and with all kinds of plans. But we also know that if it's not founded on you and you're not the foundation of what we plan and what we're doing and how we think, then it's ultimately going to be meaningless or even harmful. And so we pause in the middle of the day or the end of the day or whenever it is to just kind of give you attention and say, please focus us on you. Refocus our life on you during this time. Help us to learn how to serve others well and to reprioritize our life into something that honors you. Thanks so much for the stream and all the people that come. I pray that you would draw more people, work a miracle in the algorithm so that they can see what we're doing. In Jesus' name, amen. Keeping things simple is key. Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, that's true with everything. All right, I'm going to... Sorry, I don't know what I got going on here. I think I just inhaled some toast crumbs. So we're talking about accountability. This is all about the how, well, not, I mean, it's about both. It's about accountability and it's about mentorship. This is really the section we're talking about from a mentor. If you're a leader, if you're a mentor, this is what you're supposed to offer the people that you're mentoring. However, you could easily rephrase this as how to be a good friend, or what is your marital relationship need, or what is your, what do your students need from you? Like it's extremely universal, this stuff, because yes, obviously a mentor is going to be able to do this better because they're further along, they're more mature, they're being intentional about it. But really, if you're going to be a good dad or a good mom or a good teacher or a good student, good group leader, a good, employee, like this is all universal stuff. And so therefore, let's just kind of go through this and ask the question, when you're talking to somebody, when you're meeting with them, if you want to have an intentional conversation that actually has value, right? Here's how to do it. I'm not much of a small talk guy. I've never really been much of a small talk guy. I know the value of small talk. It's somewhere to start, right? It's somewhere to start. Well, how about the weather? What about that local sports team? Boy, did you see the game last night? Whatever, that kind of stuff. And I get it. It's a common touch point for most people to start a relationship or start a conversation. Totally makes sense. But at the same time, if a lot of conversations kind of stay there, they just stay at the surface level and they never go deep. So if you're asking your question, how do I go deeper? How do I start a more than just the sports and the weather and the politics and the whatever conversation? These are good ways to do it. Good job, Stream Elements. Yeah, there you go. Stuff is convoluted, so it's really hard to make succinct, and some of it touches on stuff I don't want public. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to talk private, that's cool too. If not, that's cool too. Okay. Let's. It says here, even if you've never really mentored other leaders before, you have the ability to offer some resources to them immediately. And that's sort of a key here, right? Like this isn't difficult as in like you have to plan it, you have to prep it, you have to do all these kind of things for it. Like you can do this in any conversation at any given time. I mean, a couple of them you require a bit of prep, but but most of it you can do that if you have these in mind. The following 8 resources are ones that don't require you to learn a single new truth in order to provide them for a potential leader. Why not begin offering them to a small cluster of emerging leaders as you find them? So this is the word is intentionality, right? So let's make this practical for anybody who's listening. If you have a channel, and we can talk to the taco people, because most of y'all are taco people. When you're on the taco server, when you're the taco Discord, right? Process through these 8 things. Like what can I comment today, or how can I comment on this, or how can I start a conversation, or what meaningful thing can I bring to whatever someone's saying. Or for that matter, if you're on stream and you're asking the question, how do I inject purpose? Like it's fun to do the fun stuff, and I tell my story, and we do the Bible thing or whatever. But what can I bring to somebody? What do people need in order for me to like really deepen the conversation or deepen the meaning of what we're talking about or whatever? This is stuff you can offer right away, right? Just kind of keep them in your mind, and if you have these on hand and you're thinking through them, well then it's easy to kind of pull them out and to inject purpose into a normal conversation. So number one is accountability. You can ask tough questions, help them keep commitments. So like yesterday, we were having that conversation with Citizen Fortress, right? The gift of tough questions is something that a lot of people kind of shy away from. I think for a bunch of reasons, but one of them is certainly because they don't want to be asked the same question, right? They just don't. They want to they want to avoid being confronted, so they don't want to confront others. But if we are people who want to help, we want people who we know to grow. We want our kids, our students, our small group, our brother, sister, our church, whoever we're connected to, our stream, the people that we're talking to on a stream. If we want them to become better people, right? Then sometimes we have to ask the tough questions. Help them keep their commitments. So we can't necessarily be their accountability partner all the time. But if we can create a system for accountability, right? We have the thing on the Taco Discord called, I did my, which is really sort of a soft accountability. It's just kind of say, look, I did a thing, and it makes you feel good about sharing it. It's soft accountability. But if you're able to ask tough questions, and that was what I was doing yesterday, right? So Citizen Fortress is like, I have this and I'm struggling with it and whatnot. And so I came in and I'm like, okay, well, are you doing this? Right? Are you doing this? Is this something that you take, have you tried to fix the problem in this way? Could be because you really want to do this bad thing, right? It's tough questions, and you got to be careful with it, obviously, because if it can come across offensive. So it's based on your level of relationship and whether or not they understand that you care about them. But really, number one thing you can do for someone who you care for and you want to grow is be willing to ask tough questions. Don't beat around the bush all the time. Yeah, you can't live in tough question land all the time. I've definitely learned that with my kids. Like I could ask every single day, have you done your devos? Have you brushed your teeth? Have you, eaten a vegetable? Did you drink some water today? For their entire life. But it would become tedious. It would become, griping. It would end up causing problems. So I do it once in a while, but I make sure I ask those questions. Sometimes it's hard. It's not easy because I don't want to hear no, and I don't want to get flack, and I don't want to get turned around like, well, you doing that? When was the last time you had, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to hear it too. So be willing to ask tough questions. Hey, Donnie. Tough questions are tough. Had some tough questions in my content lately, and they're good. Tough questions aren't bad inherently, unless they're designed to trip you up and make you look stupid. But what we're trying to do for people is not make them look stupid or make them feel bad. What we're trying to do is say, hey, here's something that I've been thinking about that I think you should think about, and if you're beating around the bush or you're trying to do some, trying to lie to yourself, well then let's move past that, because I care about you enough to not leave you dangling. I want to actually ask you the important thing so that you can move past this, because other people in the world are not going to judge you. They're not going to condemn you. They're not going to, come into your system and get into your life and poke around a little bit. We who are leaders in the community, we who have our own channel, we who are friends with others, we who have influence, we have the right, we have the ability, we have the to be able to do a bit more poking. You know what I mean? To be a bit more judgmental, as in to say, okay, so this is wrong and this is right. I think you're headed towards wrong. Let's ask some questions. Is it? Are you doing the wrong thing? It helps. It's critical. Our world today doesn't believe in tough questions. All it believes in is affirmation. We aren't like that. We aren't like that. However, the next thing is affirmation. You can't just have accountability and tough questions, and every time they meet with you, every time you talk, it's always some hardcore lesson, and are you doing your thing? You need to have words of encouragement and support, affirming their strengths. That's the thing, right? It's easy to talk about weaknesses all the time because we have so many. We're all very aware of our weaknesses. what we don't often have is someone who's affirming our strengths. Often, we don't even know what our strengths are because we don't have people affirming them. This is why there's so many people out there that don't know their spiritual gift and don't know their purpose in life. They don't know what they're here for. They don't know what they're good at. You know, if you ask them, they're like, I don't know what I'm good at, and I don't know what I'm here for, and I don't know what God wants me to do, and I don't know, you know, because the idea of affirmation and encouragement and support, they're just not getting it. And I think there might be a few reasons for that. Number one is people don't want to be misinterpreted, right? So a woman complimenting a man or a man complimenting a woman, everybody's paranoid about it. Like, oh, I can't compliment. They're going to think I'm coming on to them. You know, so obviously immediately you've got half the population of the earth that won't talk to you, right? And then if it's, you know, I don't want to come across insincere, you know, so therefore, well, then don't be insincere. Be sincere. So they're worried, or they've never had it themselves, so they don't know how to do it. So they feel like that if they started commenting, they would get it wrong, and so they don't want to do that. Others, they just don't see anything good. All they see is negativity. They're pessimists. They're realists. And so they never see anything good in that person, right? Or they disagree with their strengths. It's like, okay, I see that, you know, they're really good at art, but I think art is dumb. You know, I see they're really good at talking. You know, they can sure talk a lot, but they suck at math, and therefore I care about math. I don't care about talking. So I'm not going to affirm them in their ability to encourage people. I'm going to discourage them in the area of wasting time with people, and so they can go do their math. Right? I think there's lots of reasons why we don't affirm. But if we make a rule, you as a streamer, you as a person, make a rule to say, when I talk to somebody, I'm going to be wildly open in affirmation of their strengths and specific. We talk about that in the class, and that is when you affirm somebody, or when you say good job, don't just say good job generally. Find something specific and affirm that, and say, I really like that. You know, as opposed to, you look nice today. It's, you look nice today. I really like that hairstyle, or that color looks nice on you, or well done choosing your combination, you know, that kind of thing. Because if you can be more specific, the compliment lands better. I know that for me, because I've got dad voice, and because I've got dad vibe, there's a lot of people out there that didn't get a lot of affirmation from their dad. And so if I can make them feel better about themselves, and they can, like, a male voice, an older male voice is saying that they did a good job, it can be really purposeful and meaningful for some people. Donnie says, yeah, I had a young gentleman that if I'm in BC, he will press me on questions about faith. He brought up the source of salvation, says baptism is the source. Lately, he's been on church attendance. Oh, bummer. That's no good. Yeah, it's good that he's asking tough questions, but at the same time, he's totally wrong about baptism. Been able to try to find the words to explain faith is the source, and all other things help that faith mature. Yeah, and that's it, right? Like, and you saw yesterday, I don't know if you were here, but there was a dude that was just, it was on the Twitch stream. Dude that was just hardcore about women's head coverings. I'm like, that's his thing. You know, salvation by head coverings. And like, there are some people that are merely are completely intractable. They're not able to change their mind. They refuse to change their mind. All they want to do is change minds. There's no input, no data input, only output. And we were both at that stage. And I'm like, no, you're wrong, dude. And so I ended up having to just kind of shut the conversation down because nothing was happening. But hopefully that dude's listening, like whoever your young gentleman is. Hopefully there's conversation happening, you know, back and forth, rather than just two people talking at each other, you know, the immovable object and the other immovable object. I've been trying to find the words to explain. Yeah, and that's it, right? Finding those words is tough. And that's, offer words of encouragement and support. I would say if you have fear of affirming, or like you're worried about it, do it anyway. You know, like, well, what if they take it the wrong way? Well, take the risk, right? Well, what if, you know, like, just take the risk. Just say, we need more people being affirmed. Everybody's friggin' depressed. Everybody is sad. Everybody is lonely. Everybody is feeling crappy about themselves. They hate the way the world looks. They don't like the government. They don't like the world. They're scared of the future. They don't like themselves. They're addicted to whatever, and they got some kind of mental illness like depression, anxiety, PTSD, fear stuff. The people, like just affirm, be encouraging. Like even if you don't feel like it, and even if you have to fish for it, just do it. Just be encouraging. Like I think it's crazy that when someone raids in to someone else, that there's not a stream of encouraging comments. Thank you so much, and that's really cool, and this person's really neat. You should go check them out. I get that. We get that probably 50% of the time. Mostly, it's just thank you for coming. Here's what I'm up to, as opposed to thank you for coming. Here's some affirmation back to you, right? It's people just aren't used to it. Assessment. Offer them assessment. We talked about this a lot yesterday, so I'm not going to belabor it too much. Evaluate their condition objectively, help them gain perspective. If we're offering tough questions and we're offering encouragement, then we can also offer objective evaluation so that they can gain perspective. Because most people don't have perspective on themselves, right? They think a certain way about themselves. They know all the excuses. They know all the reasons they think they did something. They blame other people. They're deluded in whatever way. And so therefore we can give them the gift of perspective, right? Has it ever occurred to you that maybe your mother is right? Like you have just sit here and complained about her for, an hour and a half and talked about how miserable she is and how many things she says to you. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe she's right about a few of those things? Right? Like, like, no, everything they say is wrong, or, I just got a really terrible evaluation. My boss is the worst. And like, okay, well, let's talk about your evaluation. What happened? Well, you said this, you said that. Is it true? Is that true? And they go, well, yeah, I can kind of see where, he was coming from. Okay, let's gain some perspective. Let's, instead of just being all like my boss is mean, let's pull out and go, where did this come from? This is the same thing with accountability and affirmation, is that there's a lot of fear behind this. We don't want to evaluate people. We hear the phrase in our mind, judge not lest ye be judged. And it's like, oh, I'm not allowed to say anything about anybody ever. And that's totally not what that means. It just means that don't judge people unfairly. Don't be partial to others. Don't judge yourself better than you would judge someone else, right? It's not about don't ever evaluate, don't ever give condition, don't ever talk to somebody when you think they're going sideways. What it means is keep a good perspective on it. Keep be open to your own criticism. Make sure that you're trying to do this when you take the log out of your own eye and look at the speck in someone else's. Donnie says, I heard in the radio the other day, one of the best things you can ask somebody talking about their worldview is, so how's that working for you? I mean, that's the Dr. Phil question, right? Back in the day. And it's a great question. It's a great question. Say what you want about Dr. Phil, but that's a good question. So how's that working for you? Right? It's yeah. Well, and I got this problem and I got that problem and I got this issue and I'm coping in this way. And all right. How's that working for you? Well, I'm miserable and I lost my job. Okay, well then maybe we got to change that. But it's true. It's absolutely true. Perspective is important, and really it's a gift. Each of these things is a gift. I think there are probably people out there who could use this as a weapon. Certainly there are people who can use this as a weapon, right? Asking tough questions as a weapon to make them feel bad, right? Using affirmation, but only using affirmation for things that you like. You know what I mean? Only things that you like. Therefore, you only affirm the stuff in them that you, instead of the things that God made them to be, you're turning them into a picture of you. Or evil, like trying to use assessment for evil, where you're being overly critical and you're trying to show them only from your perspective and what, like, I can see this going sideways. All of these can go sideways. But let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that you're not trying to wreck your friend, wreck your kid, wreck your small group, wreck your stream. You actually do want to help them. That means that you can give them the gift of perspective. So let's talk about that. How's that working out for you, right? Number 4, acceptance. Wow. Okay, hold on. This says acceptance, the gift of acceptance. You give them something that a lot of people don't get: unconditional love and grace, even when they fail. Most people are severely lacking in the unconditional love department. The love from their parents was conditional, right? If I was a good boy, if I was a good girl, if I did my work, if I stayed quiet, if I whatever, then my parents, affirmed me. And if not, they made me feel like crap. I went to school and I had to pretend to be someone else. I didn't get unconditional love, right? When I talk to my friends and whatnot, I feel like I have to be half a person, because if I show my true self, then, they're going to get, they get upset or whatever. Like, most people don't have someone in their life that gives them unconditional love and grace, even when they fail. Now, unconditional love, what does that mean? It doesn't mean that we never hold them accountable, or we never give them perspective, and we never, give them yeah, you're doing something wrong. What it means is that we are gracious, and we give them far more than they deserve. We give them far more attention and far more patience and far more help than they deserve. We give them help when they don't deserve it, right? That's grace. The unconditional love thing isn't just, I'm never going to say anything bad to them. Sometimes it means I'm going to step in there and I'm going to make sure I love them through going, hey, I think what you're doing is super wrong. I'm not leaving you. I'm not going to take off on you. I'm not going to talk behind your back. I'm not going to slam you. But when you screw it all up, I'm going to call you on it, but I'm not going anywhere. Let's walk through this together. How many people have that? Hey, Stephen Brown. Good to see you. I don't think I said hi to Xanadu. Hello, Xanadu. How many of you want, legit, how many of you wish people would ask you tough questions, affirm you in the areas that you need affirmation, help you have perspective on what your life is all about, and then when you screw it all up, they accept you anyway, that they give you love and grace, and they walk with you anyway. Like, we would be able to live without hiding. We'd be able to share our really bad stuff, because we know that the people whoever we're talking to isn't going to gossip or run away or freak out. They're just going to take it and go, hey, that sounds really terrible. Let's work on that. We all want this. I'm convinced we all want this. Unless you're an absolutely unrepentant sinner who just wants to be miserable, or you are so stuck in your own, stuck so far up your own butt that you can't possibly see straight and you think everybody's an idiot. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to have a purposeful, meaningful relationship that makes both sides better. We do. So why don't we start it, right? When I come onto my stream, and we've built this into my community, and that is, we don't jump down people's throat, right? I've reprimanded my normal viewers when someone new comes in and they start dogpiling on them with a bunch of Bible verses and arguments, and here's how you're wrong, and blah, because people don't feel unconditional love when they're getting preached at or they're getting hammered with Bible verses. They just don't feel that. So we need to figure out a way that we can help them to understand that they're loved, understand they're accepted, understand they're listened to, affirm in them what we can, so that we can begin to talk about the assessment. It's a big deal. That's why if you hear me, somebody will come in and say something absolutely cuckoo bananas, and I will go looking for something that I agree with in it, right? Like yesterday, head coverings and whatnot. And don't you believe it's important and whatnot in the gospel? I'm like, well, I think it's really important. I'm glad that you brought up how important it is that we have humility, or, it's really cool that you're looking into this stuff or something. And then we can talk about the part I disagree with. Go looking for that unconditional love and that the way that you can affirm, because we all want it, and people really will respond to it. Next thing, advice. Speak words of wise counsel and give them options for their decisions. This is we all love giving our opinion, right? We all love giving our opinion, and we love being asked this stuff. And sometimes our biggest mistake is that we give our opinion where we're not supposed to, right? There are people who come and all they want to do is be listened to. All they want is to be told, man, that sucks. Like legit, sometimes like half the time they don't need you to solve their problem. They don't need you to give advice. They don't need you to gain them perspective. They just want someone to go, I agree that sucks. You were treated unfairly. You were given a raw deal. Yes, that really was abuse. No, that wasn't fair. Just to be told that and go, thank you so much for that. Because everyone else tells me how I did it wrong. And everyone else, they jump to my defense, and I don't want that. I just want someone to say it sucked. But there are times where the right thing to do is to speak some wise words of counsel. And this, if you don't know, then shut up. Okay? If you don't have any wisdom, you don't have any counsel, don't be making stuff up because you want to sound important. Just, I don't know. Go talk to somebody smarter than me. That's perfectly fine. The words of wisdom is, I don't know. Let's go find somebody wiser. That's your words of wisdom and counsel. But as far as if you are a wise guy, you're one of the people that has been down the road a little bit, and you got something in your life that you can speak to in this, then the note here to remember is this: give them options, right here, this give them options part, because often what we'll do is we will give one path, right? Often what we'll do is we'll simply go, here's what you need to do, blah, 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 and you give one path. If you want to do this right, and you want to really help that person, you got to give them at least 3, right? You got to give them at least 3. Okay, so here's some ways you can come at this. You can go talk to that person, and you can have it out with them, and confront them, really, defend yourself and stand up there and go, hey, this is, or you can just let it go, you let it go and you move on and you get over it, and you realize that was crappy, and you see what you can do later. Or you can quit. Just don't go back, and you're done, and you're going to go find somewhere else, right? And that's, each of those is a valid option. You can confront, you can forget, you can leave. I will support you in whatever one you want to do, because they're valid, right? They're valid. Well, which would you do? Well, I would, but if you want to help somebody, legitimately help somebody, you can't just jump straight into this is the only way to do it, and this is how I would do it. It's just, here's some idea, here's some perspective, here's a few things to choose from. And chances are what they'll do is they will listen to all 3 and come up with number 4 based on the other 3, right? And you're like, well, what'd you do? And it's like, well, I did something that we didn't even talk about. Okay, all right. But at least we talked about it, right? It's we all want advice. I say this in a class, the taco training, and that's, you might think it's arrogant to give advice. You might think, why, who am I to give advice or to, give counsel to somebody? But think of it this way. How many of you want advice? How many of you want to get wise words of counsel and some options for making decisions in your life from somebody who would like to listen to your story and reflect on it with you, right? We all want that, man. We all want that. So why don't we give that gift to others, right? We should. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, again, this could go bad where you get that Messiah complex where you're like, I got to go save everybody. I want to be known as important and wise and super smart. And I want to, I want everybody to come to me so I can be the guru on the mountain, because that's how I feel good about myself. And yeah, it can go bad. It can definitely go bad. But I think more often than not, the mistake isn't that people are giving out too much advice. It's that they're ignoring others. They don't want to stick their nose in. They don't want to give advice. They don't want to say anything that can be interpreted as criticism or that it could come blow back on them. They gave advice, it was bad advice, and it screwed up their life. They don't want that, so they just stay out of it. Too many people staying out of it. We need people to step in. We really do. Admonition. This is another one. Offer words of caution and warning so they can avoid pitfalls. I'm geared as a preacher, so this one comes pretty easy. And I've screwed up a lot of stuff and seen a lot of things screwed up around me from other people. So offering warning is something that that tends to come easy to me. And it's because you see the beginning of the process. You're like, okay, this person is on Candyland first place. I know where you're going and I know where this path leads. And if you go that direction, you're in trouble. Right? So giving them warning is not bad. Now, are they going to accept it? Not always. Are you right? Not always. But I think it's better for us to be willing to say, hey, you know what? I know somebody who went that direction you're going in it, and it didn't go well. Or when I was trying to do that, there was an issue, and man, oh man, I don't want you to fall into the issue. So you better prepare yourself for this, because this is a big part of it, right? I think of, people who feel called into ministry or whatever. It's like, man, I so want to go serve people. Okay, that's cool. Are you prepared to put your family on the line, right? You ready for your wife and your kids to get absolutely traumatized because of the job you've chosen? Are you ready to stand in front of a group of people and be the one who's getting slammed by the enemy? And you're the head pin at the bowling alley? Like, are you ready for that? Because whatever weaknesses you have, whatever cracks in your armor that you got going, it's going to be exploited. And you're going to be in trouble. And it's going to blow up your life. So are you ready to deny yourself? Are you ready to live for other people? Are you ready to not get any advancement? You ready to not have any retirement? Ever? You're going to work till you're dead? If you're ready for that, by all means, go into ministry. It's not that you're trying to poop on their dreams, right? It's that you kind of go, okay, you know what? Let me explain to you from my perspective, based on experience that I've had, some things that you need to do to avoid. Like, for example, when I moved to the States, I sold my house. I shouldn't have, right? If somebody were to say the same thing right now, they're like, I'm moving to the States. I'm living here, but I'm moving to the States and I'm going to go down there and I'm going to start a ministry or whatever. My advice would be like, well, don't sell your house here. Rent out your house. Don't give up all of your income here and just assume it's all going to work out when you get down there. That sounds like it's not faithful. No, it's just you're not removing the opportunity for income in case it goes sideways. You know what I mean? Go down there, but keep your house. It's a pitfall you can avoid because I fell into it, kind of thing. We have the right to give admonition. We have the right to give warning. Don't we all want that? If you're going sideways and you're going down the road and someone knows that you're going to fall off a cliff, do you want them to say so? Of course you do. Well, let's give that gift to others. Okay, so number 7, assets. I love how they work so hard to make this alliterative. Donnie said, anime reference, Tanjiro from Demon Slayer was going against a train demon. In the dream, he had everything he wanted, yet to save people, he had to sacrifice himself over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, that's it. At least from my perspective. I know plenty of pastors out there, and plenty of ministers, and plenty of people that have, had it pretty easy. And that's not a criticism. I'm glad for it, I've been like, oh yeah, like when you get publicly embarrassed and all of a sudden you've got someone flipping out in the middle of service, blah blah blah, and the guy's like, no, I've been doing this 20 years, I've never had that happen. I'm like, well, good for you. I'm glad that didn't happen to you, But yeah, it's more often than not a pretty difficult thing. Same with streaming, right? Same thing with streaming. Like, oh, okay, you're ready for the trolls? You're ready for the work to never be done. You're ready to battle the algorithm. You're ready to serve other people with your content before you ever get to serve yourself. Or, you're ready to submit yourself to training because you don't know what you're doing. Like, are you ready for all that? Or you just want to go online and then get popular? Because that's not going to work. Number 7, assets. Give them tangible gifts and resources. A book, a tape, a personal contact. I like how it says a tape. Remember tapes? I remember tapes. Let's replace that with a video or a podcast. There we go. We'll put the word podcast on there instead. If you want to help somebody out, practical. Yeah, there you go. Link to a YouTube video. Nothing wrong with that. Be ready to give tangible gifts, to give resources. Like for me, I keep using myself as an example, but it's easier. So forgive me if it sounds like I'm saying I do everything right, because I clearly don't. But like, for example, I got access to AI and I got access to Canva. And my first instinct was, okay, cool. I get 5 places on the team for Canva. I'm paying for my one, but they're giving me 4 more. I want to give this away. So I immediately turned it over to the team and I'm like, hey, here's some links. You can come and do Canva too, and you get access to all kinds of crazy cool stuff, right? Because part of my job as mentor, leader, executive director, guy who started the thing, or one of the people who started the thing, is to resource the folks that I'm bringing into the team. It's part of the job, right? Is to see if I can help them get better by giving them things that will make them better. We do this on the, obviously we give each other videos and give each other opportunities to grow all the time on like the creator chat, or when we're asking for, what book to go to or what Devo you're using. But I would say that the way this kind of goes sideways for some people, and maybe you've had this temptation too, and that is something starts working for you and you want to keep it secret because you're worried that if you tell people, they're going to learn the same thing and then do better than you or take away your potential for advancement or whatever. I make sure you fight against that instinct. And the way you fight against that instinct is to immediately share it, right? I've had to fight against that. I've stumbled across things where I'm like, holy moly, that really worked. I want to keep it to myself because I want the views and I want the success and whatever. And I fight that by immediately going and sharing it on a public forum. Goes on Twitter, goes in the Discord. This is what I did and this is how I did it. Just kind of get it out of my system to make sure that it's not about me, right? And it never, ever, ever takes away from me. It only ever gives, right? It only ever gives. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. Good old tapes and a complimentary pencil. What? A pencil for manual rewinding. Yeah, there you go. That's funny. Okay, and 8, application. Direct them to discover how they can practice what they've learned. This is a big part of what it means to be a mentor or to be a parent, a leader, or whatever. You gotta let the rubber meet the road. You gotta get them to a place where you can say, and here's where you can go practice that. Many of us love giving advice, and we love giving, we can give accountability, affirmation, assessment, acceptance, advice, admonition, and then never get to the place where the rubber meets the road. We never get to the place where, and now go try that, right? We've talked about the lab, and we've talked about the mentor relationship where they watch you and then you help them kind of thing. We've talked about that before, but really it works for everything, right? If your friend comes up to you and is like, I don't understand how to do PowerPoint. Can you help me do out a PowerPoint? What would you do if you did this? You could sit there and be like, hey, well, I would do this and I would do that. And here's a template that I would use and whatnot. Go one step further and be like, okay, why don't you do it? Let me watch for a minute and see what you come up with. Or you go do it, send it to me, and I will comment back on that. Like, give them a chance to try it, because what's going to end up happening is the first time they do it is going to be the thing or the time where they need to hand it in or they need to show it off, and they could really use some help. Takes time, takes effort, takes energy for sure. but give them a chance to practice whatever you're trying to help them with. It's critical because it means you're taking them seriously. It's a sacrifice you're willing to make for them. It's a way for you to show them love in a way that other people won't, because most people won't take the time. They're happy to give the advice, but they won't take the time to be like, all right, let's go do that together, right? How do you make a deck? Well, let me tell you how to make a deck. And how about, let me tell you how to make a deck. I'll come over and I'll help you. Or once you come over to my house and I'll show you how to use my saw and I'll show you how to use my hammer and I'll show you how to use the measuring tape, and then you can kind of see what's going on. And then maybe you can go build a deck. We really struggle with this. In the digital realm, like, what does this look like? It basically means be willing to do something like that second connection, right? So they come like, I need some help. Can you help me out? Whatever. Say, okay, let's become friends on Discord. And then you put a little note in your calendar where you check in again. Hey, how's it going? Did you get a chance to practice that? Did you get a chance to do that? Do you want, you need me to look over your shoulder for 20 minutes to see what you're doing there? You're like, man, I don't have time for that. Well, yes, you do. You can make time for it. It's an opportunity that you have to be able to serve someone. And if your life is about serving others, it really is like you exist because you want your channel or your life to serve people and show the love of Christ to them, then that means that walking with them is part of that. It really is. So these are the what you can give to people right away when you meet them and when you want to take the relationship to the next level, right? Accountability, words of encouragement, evaluation of their condition, unconditional love, wise counsel, caution, some gifts and resources, practical stuff, and someplace safe to practice, and you looking over the shoulder. If we can do that, man, can you imagine the world that we build? Imagine the group that we would build if we can do that. Let me pray, and then we'll jump into conversation. You guys can talk about whatever you want, this or anything else. God, thank you that you walk with us in this. You're amazing. We can't begin to thank you enough for you doing all this. You give to us, and you provide for us, and you walk with us, and you encourage us, and you accept us, and you sacrifice for us. You give us conviction. You tell us when we're messing up. You give us encouragement. You help us keep going. You give us strength. You are perfect, and we're so thankful for you. Help us to be that for others, that we would invest our treasure in heaven. It wouldn't be just about the time we can spend on ourselves, but how we can choose to serve others through the gifts that you've given us. If we are a mess, help us clean ourselves up. Help us find someone to help us clean up, so that we can go out and continue to serve. If we're being selfish, show us. If we're being lazy, show us. If we're being foolish, show us. If we're trying to replace you, trying to be God or Messiah to somebody else, show us, convict us. But help us to become people who can do this for others, because through doing just this little bit, we can change the whole world for your sake. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, rock and roll. So what we do at the end of this is we always hit the, oh, by the way, Ukulele had a great idea. When we get to the end of a prayer, instead of using amen, use ramen. Like use the ramen emote as your amen. I think that's the best thing in the history of ever. So we could totally do that. What are the chances of my superhero submission getting included in Weird Wednesday? Did you put one on the Discord? Like, let me just check. Where'd you put it? Oh, directly. Oh, okay. It's all messed up. Hold on. Oh, that guy. I think I may have blocked him out from my memory. Yeah, we can. I will save him, and see how many people we can freak out with that. Because honestly, it's terrifying. And I'm speaking in general terms because we're gonna save this for Weird Wednesday for sure. Let me make sure that I get it in the right folder first. Doggone it. All right, there we did it. Delete and delete. Cool, it's in. So we're playing Halo Reach today? Not today. We're gonna keep going until we can get to the end of the adventure in I was gonna say Genshin. No, in Honkai Star Rail. Once we can get to the end of that adventure, then I'm gonna jump into other stuff. Boy, I got a list of things to jump into. Tell you what. But yeah, it definitely has an effect on you, Steven. No question. It's no question. It will, even if you don't have that particular issue, it's gonna hit you in some kind of way. New Diablo 4 season is out, but my game's patching. Aw, hey you, Tony, good to see you. I heard Diablo 4 petered out. I was watching a video about games that started well, but then petered out later. And I heard that Diablo 4 did the same thing, whereas that it started out great, had some great stuff, but it got so repetitive and it got so, grindy and so whatever that the specialness wore off after a while. Is that true? Did you find that it became less fun after a little while? Which I think all those games, any RPG, any scaling game where you have to grow as a character, at some point you're gonna be sitting there doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, just so you can get the points. I like that. That's funny. They put the cool stuff in the early game. Good, because I don't always play to the end game. I am famous for that. I do not play to the end game. Hey, Jones. It's like... And then I did on Starfield, and man, the end of that game was just terrible. Just terrible. Okay, calm down, Stream Elements. Too many things happening. Yeah, I find... I'm getting better. But it's the tenacity. I lack the tenacity to continue pushing on the same thing and learning the skills and whatnot. I want immediate success. I want it to be easy. I want it to be something that I can get through. And when it comes to, like the challenge and failing and dying and whatnot, because I mostly play on stream, I get stressed out. It's like, people are going to get mad at me because I suck. We have to keep going. And it's not true. It's just all in my head. I can't do memberships till I get the 500 subs. And so many hours of view time. If you go to my coffee page, go to the last article that I wrote, you'll see what I'm talking about. If you have 500 subscriptions, you need to have so many hours of watch time, and then you can apply. So if you want to help me out, what you can do is you can go to my playlist, the fundraiser playlist. It's a week. It's like 7 days worth of videos, and play that in the background on one of your stream or one of your not streams on one of your computers or whatever, and it'll help my watch time. Or for that matter, tell people about live. If I'm live, then people will, it counts. People will show up, and then it counts towards my watch time. But I got to get to 500 hours. I think it is. It's like a lot of hours, but I'm not even close. So it's got to be both. And then it will give me memberships. It will give me super chat, and it will give me the ability to put my merch store, the Taco and Christian Ninja merch store, right onto the YouTube channel. It's really, really cool once you can get to that point, Hey, Blocker. But you got to do the work and you got to get there, which I have, cut my my stream in half. I was averaging 22 to like 30 viewers on Twitch. When I started going on YouTube, now it's at 11 viewers on YouTube and like 14 on Twitch. So I've cut everything in half. I need to get the watch box going. Did that for Dustin to help build his watch hours. Had all 4 of my YouTube accounts playing through his watch list at the same time. Yeah, help me out with that. Go do that. That would be great. It really does help. I showed this a little bit earlier in the stream, but I have a well, yeah, I can show you here. Ba-boop, ba-boop, and ba-boop. Right? Like I'm doing all right. Like it's not. I'm not gonna complain. I've got plenty of views. I've got more subscribers over the last 28 days than I have in the previous pile of time. Like if I actually go back like a year, I've got way more recently than I have in the past, which tells me that I've done a pretty good job of making half decent content that isn't terrible, or that people kind of want to watch. And then my watch time, Data God is playing through the playlist, and so it spiked here. And the more I stream, like here's the stream, and here's the people, what people are watching. Here's the stream. It ends up, it helps out. Although I thought for sure there would be more. Oh well. But you know what I mean. So yes, it would really help. Only 5 views per account. Is that how that works? Yeah, I know. I'm sure they've limited it somehow, so you can't just have a million bots going. Everyone got to leave a YouTube playlist up on Lurk. Yes, exactly. Literally, Blocker. I mean, and it's like I've said this in the article. Isn't that cheating? The way I figure it is that if I can convince people to use up their internet and take the time to play the playlist in the back, then I must be giving them some kind of value for the content. So therefore, it counts. Like they're helping out the channel because they want to help the channel. Right? I'm not paying them to do it. So yeah, that's got to be something, right? The stream thing it just counts straight, right? For how many people are watching versus how many hours I stream. Which means I should do a marathon on here. If I'm serious about upping my watch time, what I should do is a 12-hour marathon. And then that way, if I can get people to lurk, that's 12 times however many people are watching, right? That's how I'd goose it. Hello, Terry. Good to see you, man. Just got back from lunch. What did we have? I hope it was delicious. I've got a piece of cold avocado toast. I should call it avocado bread because it never got toasted. It's just avocado bread. Cold avocado bread. Room temperature avocado bread. Oh, streams totally count for watch time. Absolutely they do. Yeah, Blocker. I just showed it, like literally just now. It totally does. We'll have to moderate in shifts. Or, actually, you know what I saw? It's so funny. I saw Jaden Animations. And it's kind of smart. Kinda. She said she was doing a marathon. And she just left a picture up that said, come subscribe. Or come watch or something, right? And she was like on maybe 10%, 20% of that stream. And she just left it running. And then people came and they subscribed and people found it and whatnot. I'm like, I'm not sure that would work for me. Because, I definitely learned on Twitch. I did that 1 week of just replaying streams while I was writing. And like, it was not a great experiment. But, it's for her, it really helped. I think she went up like was it 1 million subscribers? I can't remember. It was a lot though. Paintball. Jones, ew. Ravioli. Man, I love me some ravioli. We went to Eastside Mario's, a couple days ago on Sunday. And my son got ravioli and he hated it. Because it was fancy, right? It had like cream sauce and kind of vegetables on it and was stuffed with things that, you know, like we're like, I want beef wrapped in pasta covered in tomatoes. And he got like really fancy stuff, and so he didn't like it. Reruns would work better on YouTube because people are used to not interacting on YouTube. You think? I saw something great. Okay, so can I go a little inside baseball with you guys? Is it I want your opinion, because it occurred to me, and I know we talk about stream stuff. I don't feel bad talking about stream stuff because I'm a stream teacher, and I run a streaming network, so I feel like it's congruent with my content. But I saw it was really, really good. What's his name? Susie. Really, he did something really smart. Really, really smart. Let me show you. Here we are. I really like this. Whoop, hold on. If you look at the top, see how he's got his graphic? He's got behind the scenes, or he's got like a title right here. This is what he's doing, and each one has a different title. He's got his links here, and he's got his content, I guess. I don't know what's happening down here. What is happening down there? Separate video. Okay. It's genius is what it is. Oh, that's funny. This Unity Gaming thing, he's actually blocking it out so that people can't see. That's so funny. I really like what he's done here. I want to steal it so much. I think it's just freaking genius. Really, really is. He had another one. Yeah, there you go. This is one I was watching yesterday. He's got his Unity Gaming thing up here. Tired of toxicity and playing alone? Join the Unity Gaming for positive community mentors, events, raid teams. That's so smart. That is so smart. And he's not like eliminating or removing the game. Actually, I think it's probably because he's got a super wide monitor. He can do this because his super wide monitor is still showing the whole game. Steal like an artist, yeah. But then he got, I would never have thought to run like a trailer down here. That's freaking intelligent. He's down here. I love the tilt that he's got, the tilt on his sub goal. It's super slick, man. It's really so good. I just really like that idea. And the reason isn't because it's super awesomely awesome that I'm like, ooh, so cool. It serves the purpose, right? It's invitational. It explains his mission. It gives the people an understanding of what he's all about. It shows the game, but that he's about more than gaming. It has a running commercial for his own thing that's down in the corner, which I think is just, dude, that's so smart. And then he's part of it too, and he's nice and big. I don't know. Would it be really bad? Like, would I be just like the worst person ever if I if I just ripped it off completely? I mean, obviously I've got it would have to be a little different because I've got a new package coming. I've got a new graphic package coming, but it's gonna look. I could totally rip this off. I think it's genius. Really, I do. I don't spend any time with Susie. Why don't we just copy what everyone else is? Don't we all just copy? Yes, we do. Yes, we really do. That's what coding is in a nutshell. Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time with Susie. When I first got on here, like he was kind of the key point guy. I'm like, he's doing it the most that I've seen anybody till I met Dustin and Eagle Garrett and Miss Positivity. Like till I saw some others, he was the guy that I just assumed was doing it all. And he's still. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. Underneath me, around behind me, is the commercial playing. You guys can't see it, but yeah. But I don't spend any time with him. Like him and I have such a different vibe, like such a wildly different vibe to our demeanor that it's actually we're like. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Like it's not like we're oil and water or fire and ice and whatnot. It's more like we're McDonald's and KFC, right? Same deal, same idea, same mission, same, whatever people. It's just we're just different. Possible to structure more like you're inspired by. I think I'm like, well, not only do I don't have the skills to do what he did, but it's but yeah, basically, it's so when I get this new package and it's coming, I think maybe I'll have that in mind. I didn't have it in mind when I asked her to do it, so I'm gonna have to adapt it. But I just think it's just really freaking cool, really, really slick. I don't know what I would do with the corner commercial. I think it's smart. It would all be taco themed, right? It wouldn't be just me. It wouldn't be XtianNinja, blah, blah, blah. It'd be taco. I'd be putting taco stuff on there. And so it would be meant to be pointing towards the Alliance for Creative Outreach. Yeah. Anyway, hi, DJ. You get it? You get what I'm saying? I was really inspired by that. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But how do you, okay, sure. It's AMA time, by the way. Like, ask me anything time. We just did a big talk about the 8 things you can do to be a better mentor / accountability partner / conversationalist / streamer / helper / teacher / parent. And so I'm like, okay, anybody want to talk about that? And you got anything you want to say? Because I'd love to talk about it. Or take a 40-minute break and then play video games, but that seems wasteful. It seems self-indulgent. I've had such a self-indulgent 3 days in a row. Man. Like, I had candy for supper last night. That's how bad it was. Like, did we make supper? Yeah, we made supper. Did we eat a very little bit of it and then go have candy during the movie? Yes, we did. It's been a self-indulgent 3 days. I don't do it all the time, but certainly the last few days I did. Per the talk, one of the items is advice. I think one of the most frustrating things is when people ask for advice but negate every single thing you advise. How do you deal with that? I stopped giving advice. I think I know what you mean. Like, it's like, well, I think I do this. Well, no, that wouldn't work. Well, I mean, then I would probably think about it going around here. No, that's dumb. Well, then I'd probably maybe, I don't know. What if you talk to so-and-so? It was like, I wouldn't talk to them. Like, well, then I can't help you. That's it. It's literally pearls before swine. You know what I mean? Like, it's you're doing your best. They don't want to listen. You don't need to force it. You don't need to push so that they take your advice. It's free. Your advice is free, and you release that. That's part of what you do with advice, and this is really important. You have to release it once you've given it, because if you give your advice and then stick a hook in them, and then try to pay attention to see if your advice worked, so you can get some credit, so you can feel good about yourself, I think that becomes self-serving, and that's a dangerous way to give advice. Give advice and let it go. It's the same thing with your money. That's why Jesus says, lend without expecting anything in return. Lend and then let go. If it never comes back, so be it. If it comes back, so be it. If the person never says thank you, so be it. If the person says thank you, great. But let it go, because otherwise you will be stressing out about it, and you will be upset about it, and you will hurt the relationship because of you trying to do something nice. That makes no sense, right? So if you're going to do something nice, let it go. Same thing with advice. If XtianNinja, if Weird Jelly Beans showed up, would you try them on stream? I used to have weird jelly beans. I used to do, like when I first started the stream, I did Jelly Belly, the really weird beans, and they made me so sick that I actually ended up ending stream one time. I had the dishwasher flavored dish soap, dish something, and it made me sick enough that I had to quit stream, and I'm like, I will never do that again. Yeah, Bean Boozled. Never doing it again. Now, if it was like pickle flavored, or like this one tastes like, I don't know, what other things are weird? Beans? I don't know. Then yeah, I would love to do that, because that'd be fun. But having flavors that are designed to make you puke, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't need to do that. Actually, what I want, and I asked for this for Christmas, I want to do Tokyo treat boxes again. I had so much fun doing those Tokyo treat boxes. You have no idea. I don't know if it was any good content, kind of going through and showing what was in the box and whatnot, but holy moly did I enjoy doing that. Good gravy. It's just so fun to get something from another culture and go through and see the packaging, and just rad. Sometimes it'd be like that though. Sometimes the options given generally don't work. Yeah, exactly. Maybe, and you don't know the situation. Maybe one of the things you can do then, to Blocker's point, ask more questions. You know what I mean? Ask more questions. Be like, do this. Well, that won't work. Do this. Well, that won't work. Okay, hold on. Tell me the situation again. Let me ask more questions about it. So, because apparently I didn't ask enough questions before I started giving advice. So tell me more so that I can be more specific in my advice. That's also big part of it. Big part of it. What's something like that, but instead of disgusting flavors, the world's hottest peppers? Again, that's just pain, you know? That's just pain. Yeah, torture foods that Terry calls them. Right? It's just pain. It's not... I see no entertainment purpose in the streamer hurting themselves. I don't think that's a good thing for streamers to do. I think it's okay to be silly, you know, like this thing here. Like putting the pom-poms on my head or whatever. Nobody gets hurt. It's silly. It's you know, it's something to laugh about or think is funny. But me sitting here with an acid-filled stomach, I can't talk and my mouth hurts and I'm bleeding out of my eyes. Like, if you're a Christian viewer or you like me, then watching me hurt myself isn't fun for you. Me hurting myself for your entertainment, probably not a good idea, right? I can't think of anywhere that it was scripture that would be a good idea, or practically would be a good idea. Go hurt yourself for other people's entertainment. I don't see that being a thing. So therefore, that torture food, you know, I like that phrase, is or torture anything. I think is it should be removed. We should move away from that when it comes to our type of streams, family-friendly Christian streamers. Because what's happening is these young people are looking at that and they don't see nuance. They just go for the worst, and then they hurt themselves. You see those people that go from I've never had anything spicy to that demon chip. You get one in a package, and it's the world's hottest Dorito or something like that, and they're literally injuring themselves because the lack of experience. The one I sent the photo in the Discord. Okay, hold on. Boop. Discord photo. Wait. Where? Oh, the Jelly Belly beer. Yeah. See, that I would try. I think that's fun. That's totally different. Let's have an experience together. Let's do something fun together. Let's see what this is like together. You know, let me try to explain it to you. I think that's fun. That's not torture. You know, if I don't like it, it doesn't mean it was torturous, but some things are just designed to be miserable. Forget about the spicy jelly beans. Yeah. No spicy, no puke, no purposefully disgusting. But, you know, if it was like I said, if it was like dill pickle and you know, barbecue chicken and you know, all the weird flavors of chips we have going up here, you know, I think that's fun. That's why I like doing the Tokyo treat box, because it was something I could try and it was fun. Packy, the maker of the One Chip Challenge, pulled it from shelves after a teenager died. Yeah. Really? I'm not surprised at all. But the reason that they did the One Chip Challenge is because they wanted to look cool on stream or cool online. They weren't doing it just because they were, right? I'm guessing that it was filmed. Or they were trying to be cool in front of their friends. That's what we're teaching when we do that. One of the ways to be cool and popular, one of the ways to grow is to hurt yourself. I don't think that's a good idea. As a dad, as a pastor, as a streamer, as a community leader, at what point do I want to teach anybody to hurt themselves for others' entertainment? It's just not a good idea. Spicy hurts twice. That's right. There you go. And you get punished off stream too. My family bought a bag of nothing but hot jelly beans for my grandfather He loves heat. Spend 4 minutes putting pepper on his chili. Oh, really? Okay, there you go. That means if he likes it, he likes it. That just means he likes it. Yeah. Oh, you were tricking him? Oh, that's funny. Your family is so funny for that. Yep. Yep. All right. I'll tell you what. If there's no more questions, I think what I'm gonna do. My body definitely doesn't enjoy spicy as much as my mouth does. Oh wow! And your tummy gets a little rough. Yeah, spicy hurts 3 times. Capsaicin cramps. Oh, capsaicin cramps. Okay, I've never had that. Or hiccups. Some people get the hiccups. Dragon breath chili. Oof. Yeah, I'm not. I don't mind spicy. Like I'll order hot wings, and I'll have the hot wings. I won't have the medium or the mild. I like hot wings. You know, so I think spice that has good flavors. Nothing wrong with that. But just stuff designed to hurt you? Nah. No, thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it. Sorry, I apologize for being so stumbly in my words right now. But I'm gonna ask you guys for one more time. If you have anything you want to ask or anything you want to talk about, happy to do so. Otherwise, I'm gonna shut her down, take a break, come back, play video games on Twitch. I think I am gonna start. I think I am gonna plan out a marathon stream for YouTube. I think that's not a bad idea. I kind of like that idea that Ukulele said. Maybe the having things running in the background on YouTube might be cool. I don't know. Maybe worth trying, because it doesn't hurt your hours. On Twitch it does. Like for example, on Twitch, when I did that, it tanked my viewership and all my stats went down. In fact, when I did that week of streaming, I wasn't allowed to have any more free games for like a month because all of my numbers were way down. So it actually hurt my stream. Whereas YouTube, it doesn't work that way. It only counts up. I don't like spicy stuff until it has good flavor. Yeah, that's my point. Yeah, total watch hours. And so I can see that. I can see that's why doing the marathon stream thing would be fun. I'll give it some thought. But at the very least, I'm going to try to do something. We'll try to do it next week. I was supposed to do Lego this week. There's still, I'm only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, right? Right? Yeah. So on Thursday, I'll plan it for Thursday. I'll try to have the Lego. We'll do the Lego stream on Twitch, and that'll be fun. Tomorrow I'm going to try a couple weird games. I got a couple weird games we're going to try. And that's about it. And that's the plan for the week. Other than that, we're going to stay on here and do some cool stuff for learning about mentorship. But I think I'm done. Sorry to be early. I think it's because I probably didn't get any sleep last night. So I'm going to I'm going to shut her down here. And please come over at 2 o'clock. Tell your friends. Come on over. Yeah, dude, Viewfinder was great. Viewfinder was great. It was really, really fun. I'm gonna try a game called Chance of Sonar. It was sent to me, and I was told it was really interesting. So we're gonna try a game called Chance of Sonar. And I don't know anything about it other than some dude says like you should try it. It's really cool. So we'll try it because it sounds really cool. I'm going to, do me a favor, meet me over there at 2. Tell your friends. Please hit the subscribe button. If you can help me out through that watch time thing, that would be incredibly helpful. Like it really would be helpful if you'd be willing to like run some of my playlists in the background. That would be really cool. And other than that, check out Coffee. That's where I put all of my updates for what I do for the channel and things to see and whatnot. It's where you can go and support me. And other than that, I'll be over on Twitch in a little bit. Thank you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. It's very helpful. And see you guys in a little while. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate you being here. Sorry it's too quick. This stream was a little quick, but thank you for being here. I really do mean that. See you in a little while.